Here we are, troops. Out and about again. Day ticket fishing for carp. A bit of a late start. It wasn't late here, but I've been walking around for the first hour, looking for signs of fish, looking for showing fish, looking for any encouragement. Now I know, like, you think, well, we've only got a day, you know, but an hour spent sometimes not fishing and just looking can pay dividends. And I've been walking around all 3 lakes. I've had an option to fish today, and the only place I've seen fish show, believe it or not, is the swim I fished last time. So I haven't unpacked all my gear, just my rods, my landing kit and stuff, and I'm going to cast a showing fish, play it by ear really, see what happens during the day. For the moment it's going to be single bait, a small mesh bag, matching pellet and oily, and we'll see. We're going to cast at some showing fish and see what happens. We'll see what the day brings. You know, it's supposed to be very mild today. Rain's supposed to move in around 4 o'clock this afternoon. That don't bother me none. And we'll see if we can nab us a few carp, unlike last time. So I'm going to get this one out. I'm going to cast it to what I saw was showing fish. I wasn't going to put any rods in at all at first. I was just going to maybe put a little bit of feed in and then wait another hour. But there's showing fish out there, might as well cast them, see if they're going. I'm going to feed a margin swim, not going to put any rods in the margin swim, just going to feed the margin swim. So I'm going to cast to the showing fish. I don't see any other fish showing while I set up the second rod will go on the same spot. There's the swim. Same as last time. Only my position of my rods are slightly different. The fish showing just there. So I'll put both rods over the same spot this time. That overhanging tree again, one sticking out on the right hand side there. They're just in front of that, showing. So what I've done is I've put both rods over the same spot. Right hand rod, belly can squid, left hand rod I've put on live system. I've tried 2 different ones, a fish meal one. I haven't put any bait out, so they're single offerings with a little PVA mesh with matching crushed boilie and pellet in there. So I'm not fishing over a blanket of bait or anything like that. Just cast to the showing fish to see if there's any bites available. That tree over there, I'm gonna feed the spot just off that. I'm gonna put a bit of bait in there, but I'm not gonna fish over it. I'm gonna feed it and feed it, and then move one of my rods over there in the afternoon. I'm going to feed it and leave it for a few hours, let the fish get comfortable in there if they're there, and then fish over it. But as I say, there were showing fish out there, so I've cast to them. A couple of liners already. See what a day brings. Look at that. Just took that out of the tree by the side of the swim. 3.5 ounce lead. 3.5 ounce lead. Lead core. It's snapped off. You can see where it's snapped. You can see where it's snapped off in the tree. Look at that tail rubber. Look, I can't even pull it off behind. Oh, Jesus. That lead was never coming off in a million years. Not that I necessarily agree with dumping leads all over the lake beds, but that was never coming off. Lead core. All that in the tree, just at the side of the swim. 3.5 ounce lead. Look at the size of that lake. I could cast to the other side of that lake with a 1 ounce lead. So why would you need that? But because it's a distance lead and all, it's not like it's deliberately used to hook a fish. That's a distance lead. It's in that tree there. As I say, the rubber, the tail rubber, everything about it is wrong. That's a nasty freaking rig for the carp. It's even worse for the wildlife. It was stuck in that tree. Got it out. Jesus, just think about your rigs, troops. Just think about your rigs. Morning, troops. Well, we're an hour or so into the session. I ain't put any bait out of my 2 rods. I've just cast the showing fish, as I said. But the right hand side is a bay, overhanging trees. No one can fish it apart from me. I've introduced a lot of bait in there, and my reasoning is I can feed it, get a blanket of bait down there, and not put any lines in there because it's a bay, so the fish can come in and out undisturbed by any lines. Hopefully they'll get confident and get their heads down. It's only 10 o'clock, so I'm putting stuff in that swim now to fish from sort of like 2-3 o'clock onwards, and hopefully by then there'll be some fish in there with their heads down, rooting around, confident on the food that's out there, and then I can just put my bait in on the top. Now what I put out there, a lot of people don't use it, but I do like to use ground bait when I'm fishing for carp. Well, any fish, I like using ground bait. And what I do is, it's a rough mix, you know what I mean? It's a hell of a lot of small particles in there, pellet, chopped up boilie and whole boilies. And what I do is, first of all, I make it firm enough with just the particles and the ground bait. And I make 5 or 6 jaffers I put in there, one after the other, bang bang bang, all on roughly the same spot. I'm very accurate when you throw in and stuff like that, so there's a big bed of bait in a concentrated area now, and I put a load of boilies and chopped boilies over the top of it, and that's it. I'll leave it now. With the rest of that ground bait mix, what I do is I put a load of more chopped boilies in and a load more particles and pellet. I top it up with lake water, so it's quite sloppy. So that'll be my, later on, if things do pick up, that'll be my spawn mix. So, you know, there'll be plenty of food in there, plus all that sloppy ground bait, it'll create quite a big cloud later on in the day. That's what I've gone for. You know, it is spring now, it's been mild all week. Fish were showing this morning. I haven't piled the bait in, I said, but at the same time I'm not going to be shy about putting bait in this time of year. At the moment the rods are still out where the fish were showing. Single baits with a little PVA mesh bag, that's it. Fishing for a bite out there at the moment. If I ain't had nothing by midday, I shall spawn some bait out there and go for it. Like I say, I've got my alternative in the bay. But I'm confident. As I say, I've had a few liners, but you can never tell with liners, you know what I mean? You get a liner, it could be 10 foot from the tip of your rod, or 10 foot from your terminal. So, you know, but there are fish moving in and out and around. I've seen them crashing. Hopefully having more success than last time. Of course, the drawback with ground bait approach is nuisance fish. Now, some lakes don't have any nuisance fish at all, just purely carp. Other lakes have ground bait bans. So, you know, you've got horses for courses, you've got to work where you do it. I mean, there is a lot of nuisance fish in here. There's a lot of roach, brud, bream, perch, all sorts in this lake. It's a mixed, it's a mixed course fishery really. There's a lot of carp in here as well. So, I nearly said pikeling, didn't I? Obsessed. So yeah, so I've gone with a ground bait approach this time, in that bay only. So when I spawn out later on, that is more like a slurry than ground bait, so it just cloud the water up. But that's my approach today. Cormorants keep flying over. It's a day ticket venue. I mean, it's not busy yet with one other guy on. But it's a nice day. It's the Easter holidays. I hope to catch a few before it gets busy. Or if it gets busy. Let's crack on. That's the bay I've been baiting up. Seen a few signs of fish moving in and out. No obvious signs of feeding yet. Some overhanging trees there. I'm not tight to the snag though. I'm 10-15 foot off. Let's see if there's anything showing up in here, in this bay. The sun's getting up now, it's getting warm. Water's still pretty cold though, so I ain't going to pile loads of bait in. If I see signs of feeding and everything, I shall put my rods in, but at the moment I'm just keeping that ticking over. I've put the bait in and I'm leaving it undisturbed. Well, I've just put my rod out over that baited area now. There's a lot of nuisance fish in there, I think, because I'm getting, there you go, look, the line, you can see the line twitching. The little stuff are either picking it up and dropping it, pecking at it. That's what my head's telling me. My heart's telling me it's carp and they're swimming over the bait and just moving it, but that's not the case. It's definitely nuisance fish down there, pecking at it. They're not big enough to take it. They're pecking at it. That's the way it goes. If a carp move in here, they'll soon shoo them out of the way, won't they? So, got to be patient, sit on my hands. The rod further out where I cast this morning to fish showing, still fish crashing out over there. That's, you know, it fills you up with a bit of encouragement. And the only fish I've seen showing themselves are over that left hand rod. It's just a judgment call when it's like this. Do you put bait in? Or do you fish for a bite? This time of year, it's spring, they're awake, they should be having it, but the water's still very cold. I'm gonna play it by ear till 3-4 o'clock. I mean, it's midday now. If I ain't had a touch by 3-4 o'clock, I should put a bit of bait in over that left hand rod. See if I'm going to track something in before dark. You see, that's my right hand rod over that baited spot in the bay. It's getting pecked at all the time, so I've got to sit on my hands with that. And obviously we're being so close in, I'm fishing slack lines. Just getting pulled out. It's just like, you know, like something too small is picking it up, but can't. Because they're 18 millers. 18 millers topped off with a half a 10 miller floater, so it's critically balanced. But I don't know whether they're attacking the Hive's yellow aspect of the setup, or just they're feeding on anything that's down there. There's definitely nuisance fish, they're definitely pecking away at it. As I say, I've got to sit on my hands and wait. If a carp takes it, it's going to roar off. Nuisance fish, they're just pecking away at it. If it's a half decent bream or something, they'll pick it up. They'll show themselves. I mean, it'll be obvious front, but yeah, there's definitely something there now. There you go, you see it twitching there, look at that. There's definitely nuisance fish messing around with it. Well, the rain's moved in a bit quicker than they said. 3 o'clock, half 2, 3 o'clock, and it's raining. Still getting pestered on that right hand rod by nuisance fish. At least there's fish down there in that bay. So I'm going to persevere with it. Someone's turned up on the opposite side of the lake. They were looking at the swim opposite me, so if it gets busy this afternoon with people turning up for 24 hours, etc., then I'm going to be stuffed. So I've had to reposition my left hand rod to stay within the confines of my swim. So it's just in front, where that overhanging tree just touches the water. I'm 10 foot in front of that, my side of the lake, so I'm all out of the way. Just need some fish. There she is from that margin swim. Power, beauty, what a lovely fish. Let's get her back. There's a successful rig for those of you who are interested in things like that. Critically balanced live system on a D rig. Halfway down a bit of pin down tungsten. Inline as always. Running leisure. Stem's taken out the inline lead obviously. And it's very loosely on the tail rubber. Fish shakes its head, the weight works its way up and away from the rig. That way you can't use the weight to dislodge the hook. Morning, troops. Number 2 of the session. Little dumpy mirror. Run me a merry dance in the night. Headed straight for those snags, but let's get her back. Up on the water first light. All that bait out for an early, hopefully for an early morning fish. Reposition the rods, do a bit of spodding, get a few freebies out there. Let's get the day kicking off right. I mean, it's been raining all night. We've only had one little mirror during the night. We had a 20 common before it got dark. So one little mirror during the night. So let's crack on. Let's get some fish. Oh, I love the scale pattern on this little mirror. Look at that. What a beauty. Only small, but they all count, all beautiful in their own right. What a glorious looking little fish. Let's get him back. Been pretty much radio silence, hasn't it? And I ain't done a lot of chatting on on camera today, but it started raining 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon and it didn't stop till 11 o'clock this morning. So yeah, it doesn't make for great filming. I'm not a professional cameraman or anything like that. I use my phones as cameras. Can't have them sitting out in the wet hoping to catch footage of whatever, you know, whatever. I mean, I like my nature, I like my scenery, and as you well know, I like my action shots as well. But you couldn't do any of that. I mean, unless you want someone sitting in a bivvy talking for 40 minutes. I don't see I'd bore myself if I was speaking for 40 minutes. But you know, we've had a nice little session. You know, we've had some nice fish from the margin spot that I was feeding up. Beautiful, beautiful mirror this morning. I really like that. Was my favourite fish of the trip. Didn't weigh it, wasn't huge, but it was beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful now. I've packed the bivvy away while it's dry. The sun dried the outer skin out in about half hour, 40 minutes bush. So might as well get it all away. If it rains again, I can put the brolly up. Don't know how long I'm staying. That depends on she who must be obeyed. I'm going to check in now on the phone and see what time she wants me home. I say it's a beautiful day. The wind's blowing. I've moved nothing. I've changed nothing. I'm still getting nuisance fish on that right hand rod in the margin bay. I've seen another mirror crash out there, so that's going to stay in. The wind's blowing into it now as well, so that's staying put. The other one, I've had one on in the night, my left hand rod with the fish meal, you know, the fish base with Bellican squid. That's only had one. That's had a mirror. So my live system on the right hand rod, that's had two. Say the common bonus, you know. Well, it's nice to get your first 20 of your new campaign under your belt. But the mirror this morning, that was my favourite fish. I think my favourite fish in a long time actually, non-pike fish. It was beautiful looking cut, you know, it was not blemish on it, it was lovely. Beautiful red tail, dark mahogany body, big scales. It's going to grow up to be a right perler. Absolutely beautiful fish. Yes, I ain't done much chatting. Birds are singing, sun is shining. I'm out doing what I love. Let's crack on. Let's see if we can winkle out another one before we go. Well, that's the end of that session, troops. I've bottled out. I could sit here for the rest of the day waiting for one run probably, but the sun's shining. It dried out my bivvy, dried out all my gear, packed my bivvy away, and then I thought, do I really want to be sitting here in the rain packing up again? So I've had a good 24. I've had 3 fish out. Not brilliant, but I ain't blanked. First 20 of the spring, so it's always nice to get one under your belt. And we plug on to the next one. Thanks for watching, I really do appreciate it. Let's see if we can Nab a few next time, maybe some bigger ones. Don't know when I'll be out again though. Got a lot of work coming up. Easter's coming up. It's work. Got to pay for all these outrageous electricity and gas bills, haven't we? Jesus. So yeah, we're out. Don't know when, but we'll be out soon, and we'll target cats and carp, I think. Or maybe big, just a place with just big carp. I don't know yet. I say it's all work dependent, weather dependent, all sorts. You know, wife dependent. So I endeavour to get out and make regular videos. So if you haven't subscribed, I've got a nice big back catalogue of videos. Subscribe, sit back and enjoy a few pike videos, a few tench videos, roach, all sorts. See you soon guys, thanks for watching.